In this week's Bingo Brawlers breakdown, we will be going over Blanxz vs. Serious Challenges. This game took place on August 15th, and this match ultimately determined first place for this group, because coming into this game, Blanxz was leading the group with 8 points, Serious Challenges was in second place with 7 points. I will specifically be going over Game 2 in this video because, as you can see, Serious Challenges did win Game 1, putting them both at 8 points, so this game was for all the marbles in the group. So, without further ado, let's get right into what happened. So the first thing that we're going to look at is how Serious, the first square he got was craft 3 unique hefty pots. That was center square, getting him off to the early 1-0 lead. He then immediately comboed that up with running further down the Iliac River and grabbing the two-headed turtle talisman, which is row 1, column 1, starting to set up that top left to bottom right diagonal. All the while, Blanxz had been working his way towards the Fort of Reprimand, so that way he can grab his second Blessing of America, getting himself on the board. Serious then went to the Cerulean Coast and killed Demi-Human Queen America for the kill 1 base game boss in the DLC, further progressing that top left to bottom right diagonal. Then Serious Challenges in the top right went and he was grabbing Skidoo to try and progress column 5 row 4 level 9 Skidoo, but he ended up messing up the quit out, so then he had to actually fight the Queeline Invader. In the moment, this did seem like a blunder, but as we will get to at the very end, this was a blessing in disguise. This was a blessing in disguise because, as you can see, it does progress column 3 row 2, acquire 4 enemy dropped NPC talismans. Then here we have both of them working on separate squares at the same time. We have Blanxz in the top left going for the Jagged Peak Drake, which is right after Ancient Dragon Man. This will be his third and final dragon boss. And then we also have in the top right Serious Challenges fighting the Hippo, which is in Rao Ruins, netting him the kill 2 Hippo square. Then we see Blanxz going after Crucible Knight Devonia, which is column 1 row 4. And at the same time, we see Serious Challenges going after the kill 1 unique Divine Bird Warrior, which is column 5 row 2. Both get it roughly at the same time again, marking the squares, but as we can see, Serious Challenges is starting to set up another threat after Blanxz stopped the diagonal, and he's pretty much doing to Blanxz what Blanxz has been doing to everyone else this year, which is set up one threat. When that gets blocked, immediately start setting up another threat so that it just makes your opponent chase you throughout the entire board. So let's see how Blanxz finds his way back into this game. We then see in the top left we have Blanxz invading Letta and helping the Horn Scent to acquire the Letta rune, which is column 3 row 5. At the same time that we do have him killing Letta, we do also see Serious Challenges going into the Mesmer fight. Mesmer is not a square on the board, but he does give you, I believe it's 440,000 runes, so he is trying to get column 2 row 1 Memory of Grace with 500k plus runes. But as you can see in the top left, between the runes that Blanxz had already been saving up and with what he got from the Letta rune, he had enough to get the 500k grace. Then he immediately ran for more runes towards Rao base to collect his 5th and final non-merchant incantation. Then we see Serious Challenges in the top right fighting the Red Bear, Northern Nameless Mausoleum, and once he finishes up this fight, that will give him 2 Nameless Mausoleums because he also did the Western Nameless Mausoleum. And there is another square for Serious, putting him ahead 8-6. We then see Blanxz heading into the Bonnie Jail and cashing in his level 5 Revered Spirit Ash. And then we will cut to both of them entering a boss fight at the same time. In the top left, we have Blanxz fighting the Curse Blade Labirith. which is the boss of the Bonnie jail. And at the same time, we have Serious Challenges fighting the Dancing Lion and Bellarat, finishing up column 2, row 5, kill 1 Bear Lion Hippo. We then see Blanxz at the top left go using the jump spring to go to the back of the Fort of Reprimand to grab these Mesmer Soldier ashes. That gives him 3 Spirit Ashes and ties it back up at 9-9. But not wanting to give up his lead, Serious Challenges then goes to the Fallgrift Fort and goes and picks a fight with Black Knight Geru. Then, after defeating him, that will net him his 3rd boss with Knight in their name, putting him back ahead 10-9 and being the first person in double digits. Serious then made a beeline towards the Finger Ruins of Deo and is now fighting the Colossal Finger Creeper. Then, just to give him some insurance, to go ahead 11-9. We'll then cut over to Blanxz trying to shorten the gap by killing this Death Mask soldier to acquire the Death Mask Helm, netting him column 4, row 1, the Death Mask Helm, Winged Spirit Helm, and Salza's Hood. Since they both had the painting in Shadowkeep for the Rockheart transformation, it was just a straight race up the mountain, and as you can see in the top left, Blanxz won the race, getting the transformation and tying it up at 11-11. All the while, we do see in the top right, Serious Challenges fighting Ancient Dragon Senesax, trying to get that bottom right square. And throughout this entire fight of Serious Challenges and Ancient Dragon Senesax, in the top left, we can see Blanxz making all the progress to go fight Metter. And before Blanxz can even get into that boss fight, Ancient Dragon Senesax had been slain. And so this is what I wanted to talk about earlier when I stated that the presumed at the time blunder with Queeline ended up being a blessing in disguise, because then Sirius already had 1 NPC dropped Talisman, and so now all he had to do was get 3 more. So the first one he went to after was this Ulcerated Tree Spirit in Bellarat. You have to go through the sewers to get to it, but defeating this Tree Spirit does net you a Talisman. And as you can see in the top left, Blanxz kills Metter around the same time Sirius kills the Tree Spirit, putting them both on Talismans, the final square on the board. Whoever wins this square wins the group. So now they're both at 2 Talismans, and I thought it was really cool that they both chose Death Knight for their 3rd. So even though Blanxz won the race for the Death Knight, he still had to go kill the Tree Spirit inside of Bellarat. And even though Serious Challenges lost the race and killed the Death Knight last, all he had to do was go and talk to Ymir after blowing a finger, netting him his 4th and final dropped Talisman, the game, and 1st place in the group. Congratulations to Serious Challenges on the amazing Game 2 victory over Blanxz. That was one of the most fun edge of your seat games to watch live, and I will leave a link to it in the description. I highly recommend you guys go watch it, the full game. And this also brings up something that I wanted to mention. Now that we are at the end of group play, we do get that week off next week, but I just wanted to talk about how much the newer players have grown in such a short period of time. Like, think of Twisty T, Park and Harbor, and I'm not sure if Sirius is new. He might be new this season. He might have played last season. I'm not 100% sure. But it's just how much these players have grown in just a couple of weeks really shows how dedicated they are to this, how much they want to perform. I mean, maybe there might be a little bit of patriotism because they are representing their countries, but even still, like, the amount of growth that these players have shown in just a short period of time is absolutely amazing, and it's just been great to watch. This was, like I said, an amazing game to watch live. I do highly recommend you guys go back and watch this full game. I know I did just kind of like a quick cut for it, but this was one of the best games that I had seen the entire group play. Very happy to see it live, and Next week we do have off, and we will figure out who moves on into bracket play. So best of luck to all those in the bracket play. It was an amazing showing for those that didn't get in, and I do hope to see them next season to try to get another shot. But that's all I have for this video. If you guys do enjoy, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more Bingo Brawlers content, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.